Hello, everyone. This is Moses, if you like, call me Caprona, but however you like it. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. As you can see, my topic talks about basically, basically Kenyans seeking uh, to immigrate to other countries in in search of greener pastures, uh, good life, good opportunities, and most of the times we do these things not because we want. We do try to immigrate to other countries because of, most of it is because of lack of opportunities. And some of us do these things because we want to change the name of our families, right? Because you might be in Kenya or whatever part or country, wherever you are in Africa, in, uh, in Africa, and you think, you know what? You don't have a godfather. You don't have somebody to link you up. You don't have somebody to hook you up with a job. And all you think is like, you know what? Let me try something. Let me seek another opportunity somewhere. Because this is the thing, if you realize uh doing more lives on Facebook and all that, it's you get to understand people. When people message you and ask you things, and you're like, some just cry for help. But the thing is, the problem here now is that you don't have. I'm not rich. I don't have enough funds because most of the people want you to help them, but you can't. The only thing I can do is share information, and when I give you this information, uh yes, you get the information and everything. The information sounds great, but the problem is you don't have the funds, you don't have the money, and that's where the challenge. That's the biggest challenge of trying to immigrate outside the country. And as I said, most people do this not because they want, but just they want because no opportunities, no godfather, and they want to change the name of their family. Let me tell you a story. Listen, and I know most of you know. I don't know where you are in this part of the world, but most people try to change the name of their family because when you don't have something, when you don't have anything, as far as I know, especially my home country, Kenya, when you don't have anything, nobody respects you. Nobody accords you that respect. So you have to change the dynamic. Most people work hard to just to put the name of their family, to put some respect on the name of their families. And that's why most people try to immigrate. So for example, so my story, my me personally, I did think of coming here just to change the name of my family. It is it just came along the way. I never even imagined that I will migrate to Canada or US. Or I never. But it's just that I went to school, had rough time in schools. Uh, it was, I mean, I wasn't the bright student, but I had a rough time. I didn't enjoy school, especially when I went to boarding school when I was in grade 4, 5, and everything there changed. My life changed. I learned a lot along the way. It was a struggle. It was difficult for me because when you're struggling in school, and not all the subjects, just usually for me, it used to be one subject, and that was mathematics. And that was the only thing. It changed everything. But along the way, I get to understand this. I didn't come from a bad or worse off family. I came from a middle class family, and I was lucky to go to these schools. Now, after graduating 2005, I thought, you know what? Uh, Graduated, got a mean grade of C. I'm like, so what am I gonna do? I always wanted to be a journalist. Wanted to be a journalist. Loved it. I just wanted to be actually a sports uh, commentator. I'm like, yeah, just one because I enjoy listening to people. Now, let's get back. Let me go back to track now and say this. So for me, I just came here because you know what? I thought, well, I'm looking for that independence. So number one, you looking for that independence. This is a place. You're looking for that to change that narrative. Earn some respect. This is the place. But can you do it in your home country? Yes, you can. But now things have changed. The economy is deteriorating. The economy is not. It's never been stable. It's just it's who you know. Who do I talk to? Who can help me? But you gotta have money again. You gotta pay just to join the police, the military police or the police there. Pay up to 300,000 shillings, and it's not even guaranteed. I remember we tried something like that, and we got swindled 300,000 Kenya shillings. And you ask yourself, so where do I turn to? And you see some of the cases. People go to countries like Saudi Arabia, like Arab countries, and then they find it's not what they expected, and they're treated badly, and they're misused completely. And you ask yourself, now what? So it is. There's so many things that goes into thinking or making that decision to come to a foreign country. Because personally, personally, based on what I know here, if I had an opportunity to go back and say, you know what, to go back to my have enough resources and say I'm going back to my home country, I would go back to my home country. Reason being, it's we were not built to live here though. We were not built to live in Canada. We're not. It's different. There's a different thing. But don't get me wrong. It's a good place because it empowers you. It gives you more leverage. Let's say somebody calls me from home now and say, "Hey, sort me, help me." I'm in that position to help. I'm in that position to support somebody, right? Based on emergency purposes, right? I can do that. So anyway, let's get back on track. Let's talk about the obstacles. We all think about it. We all think we want to come here. We all think about these opportunities. Especially, I'm going to speak of Canada and US because I've lived in the US and I've lived in Canada, so I understand. I understand what goes on. So let me talk about the people that have a chance right now. Let me talk about the nurses. Uh, So if you're a nurse, for example, I'll give you an example. If you're a nurse in Kenya, you've done this, what we call, you've gone to KMTC, you have a diploma, and you have an experience, and you've an experience in a hospital over like 800 beds. There is a chance there are these agencies in the US that would give you what? Give you an opportunity, and they will do the process for you so long as you pass NCLEX. You understand? So soon I'll give you some of these agencies and I'll put it down and show you how they actually do it. And some of them, there's Avant agency, they usually come to Kenya, and I think they'll be coming to Kenya soon. And if you have experience working at the hospital, then you have a chance, right? You have a chance. So such people, they don't face that much obstacles because they will pay for everything. They will pay for your NCLEX, and then you can go to South Africa and do that. So long as you have, so long as you get your documents right, your CV right, they will take you through. I know somebody right now who's going through the process, and it's actually working. It's actually working, and everything paid for. So but you have to verify your documents. You go through what. So those people don't encounter much obstacles. So long as you can do your little basics, passports and all that, then that's clear. So I answered why people want to come here, right? People want to come here because they want different opportunities. Everybody wants to make a living. Every For me, I said I need an independence. So that's how it goes. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and those obstacles will never disappear. So you have to start. You start, it's money. I was talking to some guy in his state, these people want me to help. He does invitations for athletes, but it's all money. You got to pay money for this process to go through. So now, what if you don't have a startup? Then you're stuck. But if people are willing to sacrifice some money and pay, for example, in Kenya, and go to Saudi Arabia, or people are willing to sacrifice because they know the reward. They envision the end result. What's gonna happen? What am I gonna be? So, and that's how it goes. So anyway, so for example, in Canada, I usually talk about Canada more, but I say this: you get opportunities in Canada. So, but you work when it comes to work, you cannot get work in Canada. That's for sure. It's hard. It's a process unless you go through a real agent, of which there are no real agents in Kenya. Everybody is a scam. So I usually tell people, try visit, because you know what? You're dealing with it personally if you want. And these things, do it personally. Go for it personally. School. And people sleep on the US. US has opportunities. Let's say you have a master's, you graduated from a university. I know that US embassy is a barrier. It's a little bit difficult to go through the embassy. And that's another obstacle with the US. So, but if you have your documents set and willing to support your case and explain yourself, sometimes it's a 50-50 chance. So, and that's how it goes. So, moving further. So, this little obstacles, resource, uh, how to, how can I make this happen? So it, it is tough. Because sometimes the messages I get, it drives me myself. It gets into me because, this person has all the qualifications, but the problem is no money. Because people asking for scholarship, can I get a job? Because everybody will ask for a job because that's what they need. They need money. They need to get going. They've gone through school. They don't want to do this anymore. They just want to work. They just want to work. But you can't. You have to follow a process, and that's an obstacle. Following a process is an obstacle if you don't have what is needed. So, if you have for student, for example, you can have qualification. You're a graduate. You have the certificate. You meet all the qualifications needed by the school. But now it comes to bank statement. You don't have a bank statement. So what do? You stop. Now you ask for people, hey, can you lend me with a bank statement? Somebody say, pay me, give me 60,000 Kenya shillings. Where do you get it? Nowhere. So these are the things. These are the obstacles. We all try, but then obstacles are there. But can we overcome? Yes, we can overcome. Now that's why you need networking. Network. Talk to this guy. Who am I going to talk to, right? Uh, Hey, Philip Sita. Currently, I have a friend on our final stages. She will be proceeding to the US state of Florida, which is southeast most of the USA. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Philip, and I appreciate that. Does he have a visa yet? Final stages. If no, does your friend have does she have a visa? So I hope uh, she went through the embassy and all that. So look into it. You see, that's a good progress. It it's when I hear such stories, it makes me happy, and to see people find an opportunity. It's not that we all want to immigrate or leave Africa the way it is. No, we don't want to, but it's just the opportunity. Because do you expect to wait on a government like Kenyan government to change, to create employment? Do you think those people don't even think about to create employment? You know, let me get political here. We all take sides when it comes to politics. But at the end of the day, we are the ones struggling. We are the ones crying because we are all selfish. We all think of our person. But do these people think about us? No. Most of the time, they don't think about us. And that's where we go wrong. Understand? That's where we go wrong. And so at the end of the day, we are fighting for our own. We're trying to channel our own path. So that's how it works. So obstacles here is money. Obstacle number one is money. Obstacle number two is money. Obstacle number two, three, money, four, money. Because you have the information. You have the information laid out, but just that you don't have the funds to move forward to the next stage. That's where it just boom, it just knocks you down and you're like, where do I go? How do I get started again? Who is going to help me? Where does my help? Sometimes you talk to those politicians and you somebody help me. No, so you are lucky if you get somebody to give you some support, financial support. Because the thing is, if you can, please give that person financial support. Because one thing for sure, when they get here, they're independent. They're fully independent. They can survive a semester or two, and they will be independent. Because nowadays we have opportunities. We have DoorDash. They can do delivery jobs. A country like Canada, you can work full time, full blown full time, and still do what? And still go to school. You can push a school a semester and still do what? And come back and work and continue with the school. You can work working full time and going to school is not an easy task. I was privileged. I got a scholarship here in 2009. I came here as a student, and it worked for me for a certain level. But I still needed to get a job. When I went to US, my school fee were paid because I had athletic scholarship, which is another opportunity. So if you know the honeys, if you can get a little help and a little help, just run with it. Run with it because it only comes once. So anyway, so I might not have stated the challenges directly, or you might not have felt like I'm mentioning based on talk. I didn't talk based on like the way the title was, but I did somehow. Uh Lastly, let me see what I was talking about. Lastly is that when you get these opportunities, don't squander them. Don't squander, because I see so many people. This is a topic that I will talk about in the near future. So most people squander these opportunities because you come over here and you're bamboozled. You're like, wow, I'm in heaven. Wow, this is new. Everything is new. Some people just ruin their chances. And I remember somebody told me, you know what, bro? Can you imagine a parent sends somebody here and they send their worst representatives. Who are their worst representative? Their kid, or one of their kids who is not responsible. You send one of your kids who's not responsible here, and you're hoping them to build a career for themselves and support this. Because Africa, we support each other and support their siblings, but they come here, find beer, alcohol, all drugs. Guess what? Within no time, they're in streets and they're struggling. Boom, closed case, transported back home, dead. It's sad. Or gets drunk, a little bit, drives while drunk, road accident. God forbid. I'm not praying for anyone, and I feel sorry for the parents that have gone through such situation. But these are reality. This is a fact. These are things that happen. So let's hope and pray that when as a parent you send somebody that is focused, level-headed, and willing to go down and say, you know what? Sometimes you just let me give you an example. If you watch soccer, you see they start pride, pride. This is our city. We dominate this city. So as a family, there is our pride. This name, Koske name. Uh, my dad's family name is Koske. So this is the name. I want to carry it. Be proud about it. Be proud of it. Just and that's how you lift it. So anyway, so soon I'll just keep doing this and make sure if any questions or any comments, I'll make sure all the your questions are answered. I'll dedicate time at least once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. I'll go live on this YouTube channel, and we're gonna grow it and make sure we share information. I'll share information. You might struggle with. I would share information. You might struggle with how to get the financial, the bank statement, all sort of things. Sometimes those are beyond me, right? I can give you links. Some people are selling bank statements, do this and do this, or family members, they can help too, right? Anyway, so that's my time. See, I'm 20 minutes in, and I hope I talked about the key issue here, the obstacles. So I'm just gonna go and give a short brief of what I said. The obstacles, how this, why do people, I said, why do people want to come in? They want to build and open, look for opportunities for themselves based on our situation, our home country. That's what people do. They look for opportunity somewhere. That's why people risk their lives and go to places like Saudi Arabia. And I see people saying, oh, are you stupid? Why would you go to such a place? Yes, I would go to such a place if there's no plan B, right? Some people don't have a plan B, right? They don't. It's plan A. If plan A fails, that's it. So, and when they go for plan B, is anything they swing by. It's like, I'll grab on this because that's what I have, that's what I can get, and that's how people survive, right? And this is life. This is life. We grab onto anything that would propel us or help us or just change our lives, and that's life. So and that's why most people do it. They want to change the family name, change their lives, and that's all. And how do we do it? There's so many opportunities. There's information online. Internet is blowing. YouTube is blowing all sorts of information. But then again, watch out. You watch out because of what? There are people willing to scam. There are people willing to steal from you because they know you're desperate. They know you want it. They know you need an opportunity. And people usually prey on such vulnerabilities or weaknesses. It's not a weakness. It's just you're vulnerable because you need it. Your desperation. Now, challenges, money, 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 money. Those are challenges. Anyway, I'll end it here and we'll talk more. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Subscribe. Put a comment here. No, don't even worry about subscribe. I don't care about subscription. Put the comments here. Ask a question, and I'll do what? I will answer the questions. I'll dedicate my time to YouTube for now for some time and answer the question. And I'll do this more than often. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. This is Moses, or good night, wherever you are. This is Moses. I appreciate it.